And everybody, I'm so happy to see you. I'm just going to minimize my screen, and if you need me for anything, please feel free to use the chat feature. You're definitely going to need a pen or something to write with, because this is a little more interactive today. So today, actually, we're going to complete our Tuca for Violence lessons 9 and 10. So it is #compatibility and social media awareness. So, all right, we're gonna dive right in here. So I want you guys to think about a current relationship. It could be like a romantic relationship or a friendship. And think about, that person that you have in your life, that special someone. And I want you to think about how often that they, and I want you to, again, have your pen and paper handy, because I want you, if I mention something in this relationship checklist, I want you to mark a sad face on your paper if it is true for this relationship or friendship. Okay, so for example, does this person prevent you from seeing other friends? So if it's true for you, just put a little sad face on your paper. So mark that off. Does this person criticize the way you look, act, or dress? If that's true for you, again, mark the sad face. Hopefully there's no sad faces on anybody's paper at this point, but let me just move forward. Does this person say things like, if you were my friend, you would, or if you loved me, you would? Think about that for a moment. Does this person act jealous when you talk or hang out with others? Does this person push you to get too serious about the relationship before you're ready? Does this person make but doesn't keep promises? Does this person grab, push, or shove you? And does this person excessively call or text to check up on you? Okay. So I want you to think about and look down at your paper and see how many sad faces that you have. Again, I hope you have none. But would anybody mind sharing their number in the chat? Melina says 1, AC says 1. Okay. Anybody else willing or able to share their number? Anybody have 0? I'm hoping people have 0, but all right. Well, so I will accept 1. One is okay. Alicia said 1. Kayla, 0. Okay. Okay. Leah said 0. Good. All right, guys. Excellent. Thank you so much for feeling comfortable enough to share that. The next one we're going to go with is draw a heart if it's true for you. So, does this person give you space to spend time with your friends and family alone? Meaning they're not with you at that time. They give you space to hang out with family and friends, just them. Does this person resolve conflict by talking it out? Draw a heart if it's true. Does this person share some of your interests, but also has his or her own interests? Meaning, this person loves to go to, art museums, and you love to go to art museums, so you go and do that together, but then, they have their own interests, maybe with sports, and you have your own interests with, playing the piano. Does this person encourage you to do things that you enjoy? Does this person ask for your ideas or opinions? And also, does this person apologize when he or she is wrong and accepts your apologies when you are wrong? So think about that. So draw a heart on your paper if it is true for this relationship or friendship. So in the chat, please share. How many hearts do you have? Do you have 6? Do you have 5? Ah, Kayla, awesome. Oh, great. Melina's 6. Okay, great. 5.5. Oh, Ace has 5.5. Okay. Tonight has 5. Oh, Amani has 7. Very good. I don't even know what 7 is, but that's awesome. They must do something extra special. All right, great, guys. So you can see where we're kind of leading with this, and so we have something along the lines of exit signs. So I want you to think about. I'm going to give you 4 scenarios in the next couple slides, and I want you to think about these 4 types of relationships. So please write down in your paper these 4 types, starting with healthy. So write down healthy. So a healthy relationship is a relationship when each person feels comfortable speaking openly and honestly. Both partners work together to prevent problems in the future. So the first one is healthy. Second type of relationship is possibly unsafe. So write that down on your paper. And the description of this one is when one partner is repeatedly disrespectful and makes the other person feel guilty or at fault for addressing problems. Attempts to speak openly or honestly might be dangerous. Okay, so that describes possibly unsafe. And if you even want to jot down, I mean, I know the definition is like, a long one, but even if you want to jot down like some ideas, like healthy is both feel comfortable. Unsafe could be just one person is disrespectful, might be dangerous. So that kind of thing. So you'll know when it comes to these scenarios. So when we look for exit signs, this is also another type of relationship. An unhealthy relationship is when one partner or neither partner feels comfortable speaking when there's a problem. Both partners should work towards improving or reevaluating the reasons that they're together, but they don't. So that is what we call an unhealthy relationship. So you can see the difference between healthy and unhealthy. And then the last one that I want you guys to write down is definitely unsafe. Okay, so it's when one partner is abusive and cannot speak to the other person when there is a problem between them. Breaking up could be dangerous. So a safe breakup plan involving family and friends is necessary. All right, so we have, again, 4 different situations. Let's get started so I can show you guys examples of each one. All right, so here's Teresa and Drew. So in the beginning, Teresa thought Drew was the perfect boyfriend. He was really into her, popular, and an overall great guy. She trusted him. However, he started getting angry when she spent time with friends. He started putting her down. He'd say things like, "You really look bad without makeup, and you need to wear tighter clothes so I can show you off." Last week, when she told him that she wasn't sure if they would date anymore, he was so furious that he punched a hole in the wall. He yelled, "If I can't have you, I'll make sure that no one else can either." Teresa wants to end the relationship, but she's afraid of Drew. So think about those 4 types, and we're going to use the chat feature. What do you guys think? What type of relationship is this? AC said unsafe. Definitely unsafe, Melina. Yep, Aaliyah says unsafe. Good. Definitely. Tamar said, definitely unsafe. Unsafe. Good job, guys, because this is definitely a unsafe relationship. Good job. All right, next one. Amanda and Marcus. Amanda is on a month-long summer vacation with her family. Since she's left town, her boyfriend Marcus has left her 15 to 20 text messages every day. He wants to know where she is, who she's with, and why it takes her so long to get back to him. Amanda likes Marcus, but she's worried that he is too insecure and jealous. Amanda decides to have an honest conversation with him and explain how she really feels. Marcus apologizes and says, I really miss you, but I understand how you feel and I respect your space. It has been a month since their conversation, and Marcus has limited how often he contacts Amanda. Now they have a more balanced relationship. So in the chat, what do you guys think would be this type of relationship? Lisa, healthy, good. AC, good. Yes. Sarah, good. All right. I'm hearing from all all you guys. Awesome. All right. This relationship is an example of a healthy one. They had a conversation. Again, Amanda felt, very overwhelmed by all the text messages, and you're like, what, 15 to 20 is no big deal. You might be thinking that, but to her, that wasn't what she had wanted. She wanted, again, a little less. So she was able to express how she felt about that, and that's a healthy way of having a relationship. Good job, guys. Next one, Roderick and Caroline. So Roderick and Caroline's relationship was going well until about a month ago. It all started with Caroline pressuring Roderick to move in together after they graduated from high school. Then she insisted that he spend all his free time with her. She would say things like, you better make time for me because no other girl would want to date you. Roderick's friends were annoyed because they never saw him without Caroline. Roderick is from a big family and they have dinner every Sunday at his aunt's house. Lately, he's missed dinner because Caroline threatens to break up with him if he goes. Also, he told her he can't hang out on Mondays because he has to babysit his little brother, but she shows up at the house anyway. Roderick doesn't know what to do. So what would you guys feel in this scenario using the chat? This is unsafe. Good. Derek, good job. Zanelli, good. Unsafe, possibly unsafe. Okay, great. AC, good. All right, this relationship is possibly unsafe. When we think about it, we think that she's just showing her love, right? She's just showing how much she cares about Roderick, but instead Roderick is feeling pressured, and she's not listening to his wishes, and she's doing what she wants anyway. So we'll definitely talk about her behavior in a second. Next and last, so you guys can probably guess what this is, but James and Susanna have been dating on and off for almost a year. The relationship is back on for now, but everyone knows that it won't last long. They're just not into each other anymore. They try spending time together, but when they do, James is usually paying more attention to his phone than Susanna. James plays football, but Susanna rarely goes to his games. She thinks they're boring, and she has other things she'd rather be doing, like learning how to make pottery. James thinks pottery is for old people. Every time James and Susanna break up, they get back together just because they feel lonely. Neither of them knows why they're in the relationship, and they avoid talking about how they can make it better. So we can only assume by process of elimination that this is a perfect description of an unhealthy relationship. So I want to show you guys a video before I do. Again, these scenarios were given to us in the Too Good for Violence curriculum. So as you notice, they are opposite sex relationships, but I would say that this will apply across the board to like any same sex couples as well. The feelings are the same, and the behaviors unfortunately are the same. So this is a scenario. It's not professional. It's done by high school students. So give it a moment. It's a little cheesy, but it really addresses the issue related to an unsafe relationship. You'll see what I mean in a minute.
Hey, Daniel.
Hey, darling. I got some great news.
I do too. Look what I got us.
Tickets.
Yes, to the new Brad Pitt movie coming out.
Well, that sounds like a hot date.
So what was your surprise?
Oh.
Hi, Diamond. Daniel. Have you heard from Juilliard yet?
Yep, I got my letter right here.
That's great. What did it say?
They're giving me an audition this Thursday.
This Thursday? Oh, well, you know what that means. You're going to have to focus and buckle down at practice tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, see you later after school.
Daniel, you can't go to those auditions.
What? Why not?
I got tickets for this Thursday. You're not gonna ditch me for some stupid auditions, are you?
These auditions are a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You know how important these are to me.
Well, if it's that important to you, go ahead and go, because I'm sure another guy would like to take your ticket.
Diamond, come on. So, you want to come to my place after school?
Yeah, whatever.
I heard you got a big audition at Juilliard.
Yeah, this Thursday.
Really? Me too.
That's great. Congratulations. My name's Dan. And what's yours?
Janae.
And I'm Diamond, his girlfriend, and we're still thinking if Juilliard's the right choice for him.
Well, I still think it's a good opportunity. And Miss Downey said I should practice with you guys after school. So, see you later?
Yeah, see you later.
I don't like her.
What? She seems cool to me.
Well, I don't want you talking to her.
Diamond.
No, Daniel. I don't want you talking to her. Do you understand me?
Daniel, you need more practice. You need more extension on your leap, stronger. Have more confidence in yourself. All right? All right, take 5. Go ahead.
Hey, you're pretty good. How long have you been dancing?
Well, ever since I could walk, really. How about you?
Not nearly as long as you have. Only about 2 years.
Well, you seem like a natural to me.
Thanks. So you're not sure if Juilliard is a school for you?
No, I'm sure Juilliard is the school for me. It's my girlfriend who's not so keen on the idea.
Yeah, I kind of picked up on that in the library. Is that her?
All right, everyone, back to work. Come on.
Hey, Dan!
Yeah?
It's cool that I met someone that has the same dreams as me.
Yeah, it's not every day you meet somebody who wants to dance for a living like you do.
Yeah, but my dad thinks I should go to school for accounting or something. He doesn't think the whole dance thing will work out.
Well, my mom's pretty excited about it. It's Diamond who doesn't like me.
Really? Why is that?
Well, I don't know. Right?
It looks like someone slashed your tire.
Yeah.
I'm calling the cops.
No, it's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I got a spare in the bag.
Okay.
This seems to happen to me a lot. I call the cops, they come, and they can't even do anything about it.
Really?
Yeah. You can get going.
Well, see you later then?
Yeah, see you later.
Hey, honey, what are you doing?
Just changing this light bulb for my mom. So, did you do it?
Do what?
You know what? Slash my tires.
I told you not to talk to her.
She came up and talked to me.
She was putting the moves on you, and you're just going along with it.
How about she's just being friendly?
I don't want you talking to other girls. Oh my gosh, honey, I am so sorry. Are you okay? Oh my God. Stop it. He fell off the ladder.
Daniel, are you okay?
Yeah, it's my arm.
Your arm, does it hurt?
Goodness.
Oh, let's get him up
Okay.
slowly.
I'm so sorry, honey.
How did this happen?
How's the arm?
It hurts.
I'm sorry.
Are you sorry that it hurts? Or are you sorry that you pushed me off a ladder?
Both. You just made me so mad.
Diamond, I've been thinking, and I don't
I've
think
been
I can...
thinking too. I've decided to let you go to the audition.
Thanks. Too bad my arm's in a sling.
Daniel, what happened to your arm?
I fell off a ladder,
Oh,
but I can
sorry.
still dance with it.
Well, we'll see about that. Daniel, I admire your effort, but this has got to stop.
I can do it, Miss Downey.
No, if you have any chance of auditioning for Juilliard, you've got to go home and rest your arm.
But I can really do it.
I'm sorry.
Are you all right?
No, I'm not all right. This was my big chance, and now I'm gonna miss it, all because of Diamond.
What do you mean?
Well, I didn't just fall off the ladder. Diamond pushed me.
Really, Dan? That sounds serious. Why would she do that?
She doesn't want me to go to Juilliard.
But it's your future. It's your dream. If she cared about you, she'd want you to go.
Dan, what are you doing? Why are you talking to her? Why are you talking to her?
I'm talking to her because she understands how I feel. Something you obviously don't.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying, if you really cared about me, you'd want me to go to Juilliard. You wouldn't slash my tires or push me off of ladders, or try to dictate who I can and can't talk to. Not to mention, you want me to make the most of my future.
I thought I was your future.
We've been together not even 2 years, but I've had this dream for as long as I can remember. So I've decided, whether I get into Juilliard or not, I can't be with you anymore. I'm breaking up with you.
Are you telling me that you're willing to throw away the last 2 years of our lives over this whole thing? Oh, I'm gonna kill you!
Calm down right now! Stay calm.
I'm gonna kill you!
How's it feeling?
It's feeling better. I don't have to wear the sling on my arm anymore.
That's good.
So about the other day, thanks for being there for me.
Oh, sure. Don't mention it.
So, what about the big audition? Did you get in?
The audition? It went great. I was nervous at first, but I got through it. I don't know if I got in yet, though. They said they'll contact me in the next couple weeks.
I wish I could have been there.
Here, I got you something while I was there.
What is it?
After our audition, I stayed around, and then I got to talk to the lead dance instructor, and I told him all about you, how you wanted to dance, and then how you got hurt, and then he gave me his card.
What? Really?
Yeah, he said call him after you feel better, and he'll set up a private audition.
Why would you do that for me?
Because I know how much you love to dance, and I didn't think it was right that Diamond took that away from you.
Thank you. You really didn't have to do that for me, but I really appreciate it.
I feel empowered. I feel like the Dimitri Post diagnosis loves every inch of
Stop and then go back. All right, guys. So in the chat, what do you guys think? What's your, or you can unmute and you can just talk about how you feel about watching that. Was that realistic? I mean, I think that I was looking through YouTube videos just to see like, you know, something that would possibly occur, maybe not exactly in that fashion, but something that had a definitely unsafe depiction of a relationship. Does anybody want to talk about your feeling towards it? Thoughts in the chat? Does anybody have a friend who might be in a situation like that, or think about a relationship, you know, maybe not currently, but has had a relationship in the past that might have looked something similar? All right. So while you guys think about that, I'm going to kind of this cycle of abuse. So if you've heard, and this talks about dating violence and domestic violence. So when you hear those two terms, you know, they're pretty much one and the same. So there's definitely what we call a cycle of abuse. So you know, this kind of shows the cleanest depiction of what happens in an abusive relationship. So the first cycle in the first section of this relationship, there's a tension that might be building. There might be a breakdown of communication. There might be, you know, tensions might be increasing. You might be getting short with each other. There's definitely some stress and the victim becoming more fearful. So that leads to the incident. So in number two is either a verbal, emotional, or physical altercation of some sort. There's, you know, threats, arguing, blaming, all of those things that happen during the incident. And then afterwards becomes the third part of this cycle of abuse, which is reconciliation. So that means that the abuser apologizes, you know, gives excuses, blames the victim, you know, thinks about in situations, you know, very either blaming the victim or not taking responsibility from themselves. Like, you made me mad. This is why I had to do it. So giving those kind of excuses. And then in the fourth part of the cycle of abuse is the calm. So it could be what we call the honeymoon phase, which means that the abuser is sorry. They are very remorseful, guilty, you know, all those feelings. And there might be a peace offering of some sort. Maybe they'll buy flowers, or they'll do something nice for the victim. And, you know, that'll get them back in their good graces, so that, again, the cycle will, as you can see, it's a circle. So it'll start continuing, and it'll start going back to one. So again, this could be male or female. So we always think about, you know, in historically, dating violence or domestic violence as a female issue, where the female is the victim. But in a lot of cases, actually, males are the victims as well. So when we think about this relationship checklist, I want you to think about all those things that have helped in a relationship. So that person gives you space and time to spend with friends. That is respectful. That person encourages you to do what you enjoy. That's supportive. This person asks for your ideas and opinions. That's cooperation. And resolves conflict by talking about it. We call that honest and open. The person apologizes when he or she is wrong and accepts your apology. We call that humble. And the person shares some of your interests, but also has their own interests. We call that person secure. So you want all of those things in a relationship. These are helpful things in a relationship. What happens in another kind of relationship? There is the hurt. That person prevents you from seeing other friends. We call that isolating. That person makes but doesn't keep promises. We call that person unreliable. The person excessively calls or texts to check up on you. We call that person insecure. The person criticizes the way you look, act, or dress. That's a put down. Says things like, if you were my friend, or you would, or if you loved me, you would. That person is making threats. The person grabs, pushes, or shoves you. We call that abusive. The person pushes you to get too serious about a relationship before you are ready. We call that controlling. And that person acts jealous when you talk or hang out with other people. We call that jealous. So you can see in that scenario with the high school students that you can see Diamond was a lot of these things. She was making threats. She was, at the, end with shoving him off the ladder and grabbing him. She was abusive. She was jealous, him talking to the other girl about his Juilliard audition. So, she was insecure. She had all of those things that you would say, like, danger, warning, stay away. But sometimes we don't see past that because we feel, we care about that person or we're in love with that person. So we kind of like look past that and we don't see those warning signs, those red flags before it's too late. So relationship 911. So if there are too many unhealthy qualities in your relationships, you may need to have an open and honest conversation with your dating partner. If you feel scared or threatened by the person, ask for help from a trusted adult and get out of the relationship immediately. And you have the right to feel safe, loved, and respected. So I just wanted to highlight this. You can jot it down in your notes if you'd like to, or you can Google it. Actually, I think I might be able to go right to the hotline. This is the National Domestic Violence Hotline. The 800 number is 1-800-799-SAFE, or you can actually text START to 88788. Or if you click on the hotline.org, it brings up the website, so the National Domestic Violence Hotline. So actually, and I love this feature, you can have a call feature, you've got a text feature, and you've got a chat live now feature. And it has some safeguards even when you're in a dangerous situation, when your abuser is, in the same room with you or, nearby. They actually have, some safety features, built in. They have plan for safety. If you're thinking about in a domestic violence situation, moving out of the house of an abuser, identifying abuse, it's a great website. Getting help, creating a safety plan, all of those things. So I'm going to go back. To this, and I'm going to continue on talking about lesson 10, social media awareness. So it's kind of a fun topic, but at the same time, it's kind of a it's an interesting topic to kind of think about in our world and how it's changing so rapidly when it comes to social media. So it can be fun and not so fun at the same time. And I'll show you a video and you'll see why in a moment. So when we think about social media, it does affect our relationships and our personal emotional well-being. So for example, if you go to a concert but you don't take a picture and post online, were you even there? Did it even happen? I hear people talking about that all the time. Like, if I don't post it on social media, it's like it never happened. And there's reasons, again, we'll talk about this in a moment. There's reasons why people post on social media. So my question to you guys, use the chat feature. Why do people post on social media? What's their motivation? What's your motivation? Why do you like to post on social media? So use the chat. Why do people post on social media? So Melina said to feel included with the majority of people around them. AC said recognition. Good. Yes, all of those things. Good. Why do people post on social media? So it's the camaraderie of, being together in a group and feeling connected, to show people a glimpse of their lives. Yes. And Hanaja, isn't that funny that, we show people a glimpse, which is always the good part of our lives. It's not the, everyday, boring part of our lives. It's the fun, exciting, look at me, I'm somewhere fun and, and, awesome. And my life is great. But we don't show the other part of that. To feel like they're doing something in their life. See, Mark, good. Accomplishing. Yeah. So look at me. I got this great, award for, at my, soccer sports, awards night banquet. Or, I got this great scholarship to a great college, or, I have, all these, wonderful things that are happening to me. Yeah, so a lot of people post for a lot of different reasons. It could be more, it could be internal, or it could be external. So a lot of people spend so much time building their identity online that they begin to believe they have, quote, no life, or they don't exist if they don't post online, which I think is a sad commentary of where we're at in the world. But social media has really changed our lives. So we're going to talk about the positives. So let's talk about the benefits of social media. And I'm so sorry, you guys have young eyes, so you could probably see this. And I hope that you're able to, to see all these connecting factors. But so some of the benefits of social media is connecting with other people. Like you guys said in the chat, I'm doing this great thing, and I love baking bread, so I'm going to connect with other bread bakers out there in the universe, and we're going to share our bread pictures, and it's going to be great. So I love the fact that social media does connect like-minded people with like-minded interests. The great benefit of social media is keeping in touch with family and friends. I know a lot of my family, we're local, we're affiliate based for the most part, but I know some of my friends, they have families scattered throughout, the United States and the world. So them posting pictures on Facebook, they're able to, keep in touch with those family members and make them feel a part of that 80th birthday party, even though they weren't physically there. They can actually, see them and comment on those pictures. Sharing pictures and experiences. Again, going to, I'm a big picture taker when it comes to when I go to a restaurant, I take pictures of food. I know it's embarrassing. I'm admitting it. And I was doing this way before Instagram was a thing. So I think I started a whole movement. So I like sharing pictures of my, of my meals and kind of fun, fun things like that. So I, have been sharing pictures and experiences on, social media, particularly Instagram. And I like the comments that people say about that. So planning and coordinating events, if you're planning a big, function like a family reunion, it's nice to have maybe set up a page where everybody could, comment and, not this whole back and forth, but everybody can see it kind of on one page. As you get into the business world, you guys understand, LinkedIn is a professional networking social media group that has your professional work experience. You can like list all your your jobs, and you can connect with other professionals in your field, which is kind of a nice thing. Staying informed of local and world events. A lot of people get their news from Facebook. I'm calling out specifically. My son gets his news from TikTok, but that's just him. But it's just staying informed as what's going on in the world. That your news feed can be a source. Now, again, it can be a source of disinformation too, so you have to take that with a grain of salt. But staying informed about what's going on in the world, making new relationships, and joining, again, like-minded people. That's always a fun thing to connect with other people. Snapchat's always asking me like, oh, you must know this person or connect with this person. So that's just an interesting way of connecting socially. And also seeing opinions from a wide variety of people. And opinions, maybe you don't even want to know their opinion, but they're going to share it with you anyway. So some of these are benefits of social media. So this is about a 12-minute or so video. So sit back, relax, and it's an eye-opening world point of view about, this is called You'll Wish You Watched This Before You Started Using Social Media, from The Twisted Truth.
So you're dealing with an addicted generation.
This is a big time bomb ticking.
This is no accident. Indeed, it is by design.
I mean, seriously?
It was my mistake.
I mean, I think we can all feel it.
To try to make these products as addictive as possible.
Spike in dopamine.
We now know that many of the major social media companies hire individuals called attention engineers who borrow principles from Las Vegas casino gambling, among other places, to try to make these products as addictive as possible. That is the desired use case of these products, is that you use it in an addictive fashion because that maximizes the profit that can be extracted from your attention and data.
It literally is a point now where I think we have created tools that are ripping apart the social fabric of how society works. That is truly where we are.
The way the technologist Jaron Lanier puts it is that these companies offer you shiny treats in exchange for minutes of your attention and bytes of your personal data, which can then be packaged up and sold.
What happened is that the attention economy and this race for attention got more and more competitive. And the more competitive it got to get people's attention on, say, a news website, the more they need to add these design principles, these more manipulative design tactics, as ways of holding on to your attention.
You don't realize it, but you are being programmed.
Social media tools are designed to be addictive. The actual desired use case of these tools is that you fragment your attention as much as possible throughout your waking hours. That's how these tools are designed to use. Well, we have a growing amount of research which tells us that if you spend large portions of your day in a state of fragmented attention, so large portions of your day where you're constantly breaking up your attention, take a quick glance, do a just check, and just quickly look at Instagram, that this can permanently reduce your capacity for concentration. I am especially worried about this when we look at the younger generation coming up, which is the most saturated in this technology.
And it's very addictive because if you pull on the slot machine arm enough, you will win. And you never know which pull will reward you.
That's an addictive behavior, and it's dopamine that is driving that addiction. So what happens with social media is Robert Sapolsky, who did the foundational research on this at Stanford, calls it the magic of maybe. When you look at your phone and maybe there's a text there and maybe there's not, and you don't know, when it shows up, that high you get, that's dopamine. It's the magic of maybe. Maybe it'll be there, maybe it won't. When it shows up, you get a 400% spike in dopamine. That is roughly the same amount of dopamine as you're getting from cocaine. It's slightly less than an extremely addictive drug like cocaine. And that's what's happening.
We really care what other people think of us. So for example, when you upload a new photo, a new profile photo of yourself on Facebook, that's a moment where our mind is very vulnerable to knowing what other people think of my new profile photo. And so when we get new likes on our profile photo, Facebook, knowing this, could actually message me and say, oh, you have new likes on your profile photo. And it knows that we'll be vulnerable to that moment because we all really care about when we're tagged in a photo or when we have a new profile photo. And the thing is that they control the dial, the technology companies control the dial for when and how long your profile photo shows up on other people's news feeds. So they can orchestrate it so that other people more often end up liking your profile photo over a delayed period of time, for example, so that you end up having to more frequently come back and see what the new likes are.
And it's literally rewiring our brain. Even social media, the challenge is, you know, with these terms like Facebook depression and everything, because
what's that?
This is social media depression because whereas everyone's looking at their feed and they're comparing their lives to other people, their highlights of other people's lives.
Wow.
And there's actually less life satisfaction, more sadness, depression, and stuff like that.
And it's interesting because if you think about things that, you know, routinely produce a lot of dopamine, alcohol, for example, there's a drinking age, right? We have a drinking age. The alcohol releases a whole lot of dopamine. It makes you feel really, really good. We say, okay, you can have that, but you gotta wait. You gotta be 21 years old. We don't do that with social media. We're, you know, essentially putting highly addictive drugs into the hands of kids before they have any natural defenses against them. And what you're seeing with internet addiction, with social media addiction, it's the same thing over and over. It's people trying to change their state of consciousness with a device trying to get at the underlying neurochemical chemistry, and it's very, very addictive.
And so I would say the problem with the gadgets, and I mean, they're amazing things, is that they proximately interfere with medium to long-term goals, I would say. And so I think the first thing you have to do to bring them under control is figure out what it is that their use is interfering with. It has to be something important. So you think, well, I want to do something important. What is that? Oh, it could be personal. Maybe you want to have a relationship. You want to get married. You want to have kids. You want to have a career that's meaningful. You know, you want to have a life. You want to have an Abrahamic adventure and be the father of nations, let's say. Well, you can't be ratting away on your cell phone and doing that. And so I think part of it is to set your sights high and make a plan and figure out who you could be and see if obsessive utilization of smartphone fits into that vision of nobility. And it will partly because they're unbelievably powerful communication devices, but so often it's for lack of something better to do, and it also interferes.
You know, imagine like when you take that to the extreme, where, you know, bad actors can now manipulate large swaths of people to do anything you want. It's a really, really bad state of affairs. And we compound the problem, right? We curate our lives around this perceived sense of perfection because we get rewarded in these short-term signals, hearts, likes, thumbs up, and we conflate that with value and we conflate it with truth. And instead what it really is fake brittle popularity. That's short-term and that leaves you even more, and admit it, vacant and empty before you did it. Because then it forces you into this vicious cycle where you're like, what's the next thing I need to do now? Because I need it back. Think about that compounded by 2 billion people. And then think about how people react then to the perceptions of others. It's really bad.
So we know from the research literature that the more you use social media, the more likely you are to feel lonely or isolated. We know that the constant exposure to your friends' carefully curated positive portrayals of their life can leave you to feel inadequate and can increase rates of depression. And something I think we're going to be hearing more about in the near future is that there's a fundamental mismatch between the way our brains are wired and this behavior of exposing yourself to stimuli with intermittent rewards throughout all of your waking hours. So it's one thing to spend a couple hours at the slot machine in Las Vegas, but if you bring a slot machine with you and you pull that handle all day long from when you wake up to when you go to bed, we're not wired from it. It short circuits the brain, and we're starting to find that it has actual cognitive consequences, one of them being this sort of pervasive background hum of anxiety.
Here's the thing. The world we live in isn't real. Social media isn't real. And by design, social media rewards us for showing our best life. The edited, posed, champagne, Michelin star, holiday, orchestrated best angle of our life, the highlight reel. But you don't ever see real life, the 99% of our lives, the behind the scenes, the unglamorous, unfiltered, day-to-day, bland normality. And you end up comparing your behind the scenes to other people's fake highlight reel and using others as a mirror or benchmark for how you should look, how successful you should be, or how you should live. These fake comparisons will only serve to make you feel inadequate and inferior to something that isn't even real. Research continually shows that comparing your life to someone else's creates envy, low self-confidence, low self-esteem, and depression. You compare yourself to other people every single day, consciously or subconsciously, and no matter what I say, you're not going to stop because comparing one thing to another is a natural human thing to do. Whether we want to admit it or not, a big reason why anything has value is because there's something worse or better to compare it to. Think about it. An old brick of a mobile phone with a big aerial is only considered amazing in a world before the smartphone. The horse and carriage is only considered a phenomenal mode of transport until the car comes along. The answer isn't to stop making comparisons, because unfortunately we can't control that. But you have to change the object of your comparison. From someone else to yourself. You have to measure yourself against yourself. And by doing this, you start at a base point where you consider yourself to be perfectly fine exactly how you are. But it also is the most effective, motivating, and healthy way to work to improve yourself. You'll become your happier self when you stop putting pressure on yourself to be more like someone else, and when you start comparing real to real.
We're in a really bad state of affairs right now, in my opinion. It is eroding the core foundations of how people behave by and between each other. And I don't have a good solution. You know, my solution is I just don't use these tools anymore. I haven't for years. It's created huge tension with my friends, huge tensions in my social circles. If you look at, like, you know, my Facebook feed, I've posted maybe 2 times in 7 years. 3 times, 5 times, like it's less than 10. And it's weird, I guess I kind of just innately didn't want to get programmed. And so I just tuned it out. But I didn't confront it. And now to see what's happening, it really bums me out.
Back in the 1970s and the early 80s at Xerox PARC, when Steve Jobs first went over and saw the graphical user interface, the way people talked about computers and what computers were supposed to be was a bicycle for our minds. That here we are, you take a human being and they have a certain set of capacities and capabilities. And then you give them a bicycle and they can go to all these new distances. They're empowered to go to these brand new places and to do these new things, to have these new capacities. And that's always been the philosophy of people who make technologies. How do we create bicycles for our minds to do and empower us to feel and access more? Now, when the first iPhone was introduced, it was also the philosophy of these technologies. How do we empower people to do something more? And in those days, it wasn't manipulative because there was no competition for attention. Photoshop wasn't trying to maximize how much attention it took from you. It didn't measure its success that way. And the internet overall had been in the very beginning not designed to maximize attention. It was just putting things out there, creating these message boards. It wasn't designed with this whole persuasive psychology that emerged later.
If you feed the beast, that beast will destroy you. If you push back on it, we have a chance to control it and rein it in. And it is a point in time where people need to hard break from some of these tools and the things that you rely on. The short-term dopamine-driven feedback loops that we have created are destroying how society works. No civil discourse, no cooperation, misinformation, mistruth. And it's not an American problem. This is not about Russian ads. This is a global problem.
Mr. Zuckerberg, would you be comfortable sharing with us the name of the hotel you stayed in last night?
No.
All right. So I hope hope you guys enjoyed that. So we have a handful of minutes left. So my last question to you guys is, I hope that was eye-opening for you. It was for me in so many ways. But the question I want to pose to you guys for the last 5 minutes of our time together is, how do you handle social media? So the question is, how do you handle social media? I'm going to stop sharing so I can see your faces. So everybody, put on your cameras again. AC's like, I want honest, and I like AC's comment. I'm on social media 24/7. What's your social media of choice, AC? I know my daughter's a Snapchat. She can't stop herself. She has to continue her streaks. TikTok. Yep, that's also another one that she goes back and forth with. And Instagram. Yes. So Tamar says, I'm on social media all the time, but I'm not posting. So Tamar, why are you on social media all the time? What's your motivation? Is it?
I mean, like,
go ahead, say it a little louder.
I'm up there because like a lot of memes and stuff. So Instagram, TikTok.
Okay, so you're in there for the funny memes.
Yeah, but like, and sometimes to talk with my friends because we text a lot through there. But I don't really, if nobody saw me, because you can't really see, like, you see when they're active, but you don't really see like they're posting and stuff. Like, that's what you don't see from me.
Right.
Up there, and the only time you probably know I'm up there is if we were like talking together. Otherwise, you wouldn't see me posting a lot because I don't do that. The last time I posted was like March. So.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you so much for sharing. So I see Anaja says TikTok, Instagram, and Pinterest, and you post sometimes. Which one would you say out of the three, Anaja, would you say is your go-to or your most favorite? I mean, they're all different in some ways, but TikTok, yeah. I think that's where most people, most of you guys your age are at. I like Pinterest too. I mean, those boards are fun. I'm amazed at how creative some people can be. It is peaceful. I agree, and it is therapeutic. But you guys were hearing in that video presentation that there are people in the social media world that are just there for the addiction part of it. They were comparing it to a slot machine, in your hand. So they are programming these feeds. As you can see, like, again, the profile picture, if you change your profile picture on, say, Facebook, it'll extend, it just won't be for, that day. And you get like a couple likes, and there's somebody behind that, a computer analyst, a specialist, many of them, who are culling your posts, and they'll extend out that new profile pic, so you'll get likes, and you'll constantly have to go back in. I mean, I get notifications on my phone all the time. So and so commented on your post. So and so commented on your, like this, like that. Again, does it make me go back into Facebook check? I'll be honest. Yeah. I want to see what they say. I want to see what they comment. If they said anything, I want to see who liked it. When I'm big on Insta stories. I don't know about you guys, but I love that. So I'll post an Insta story and a Facebook story, the same one, to see like who liked my Insta story and who liked my Facebook story and how many likes I got, and then I get upset because I'm like, I posted 5 pictures and you only clicked on the first one. I take it with a grain of salt. Like it doesn't personally offend me at all. And I'm not, to the point where I'm glued to my phone, but I know that some people, have this feeling about social media and how, they always, are always on it and they're always posting. And what does that say about that person? So any other thoughts, ideas, feelings that came up when you were watching any of the videos, anything we talked about today? I know we have like a couple minutes left, but is there anything else that you guys, like any new information that you found was interesting that you didn't know before today? So, all right, guys. So I want to thank you so much.